Hey, good morning to everybody, and good evening to others. I wanted to get everybody before they went to bed or right after they woke up for the day. I know it's Tuesday. Hey, the weekend's one day closer. But like I say, in usual, if you want all the information, you're going to have to rewatch it from the beginning because I'm not going to sit around and wait for a bunch of people to file in here. And you could take this information for what it's worth. I'm currently stopped at this truck stop, so I can read you guys a message that was massively sent out yesterday to all of us. It was sent yesterday afternoon. I already knew this was coming because of the way the shippers and receivers have been operating. There are some that I used to go in, get unloaded, and I was gone. Or I'd drop my trailer, grab my loaded one, and I was gone. That's not the case, hasn't been the case now. A lot of places that were like that are downright awful. I'm spending 8 to 10 hours or more waiting for that load to get ready, or in some places to get unloaded. No, it's not a labor shortage. It's called corporate capitalists cutting hours to be more profitable for them. That's what it is. It's all business. This is, business 101. It's one of the first things they teach you. But this was the message I got yesterday. It's like, good afternoon. Need to take a minute to talk about the current freight market and how we affect it. As you all are aware, freight is slow right now, and you may be sitting for a day or more between loads depending on the area you're in. See, these type of things do not happen evenly. Yes, it may not be happening in your area just yet, but it eventually does affect. Um, we're constantly trying to book more freight. Oops, hit the wrong button. And this is where we need everyone's help. We need to be doing better on service to our customers. This means showing up on time, picking up deliveries on time. Basically, we don't really have too much of a problem in that area. It's the shippers and receivers. See, when you go to a shipper to pick up a load, you're at the mercy of them. Like this morning, I was supposed to have been out of there hours ago. There's a drop dead time, meaning if you don't get out of there by that time, you're not going to make your delivery appointment on time. And they went beyond it by an hour on mine. I'm going to bust my butt to try to get in as close as I can, then shut down for 10 and then deliver early in the morning tomorrow. Hopefully on time, but I highly doubt it. Like he says here, a meat plant need to be more. We're getting the trailer in there as soon as possible so it can be loaded. This fleet has the potential to be the best fleet, but we're falling short. What it is we're not really falling short. What it is freight has slowed down. Companies are going out of business, especially in Florida. There's been a lot of them that went out of business in Florida and currently go out of business every day. Why? Because you got a lot of people undercutting one another to get that freight. And in order to do that, there's a lot of factors involved. Okay, am I going to be willing to pay, let's say, $1? Let's just make an even number, $1 a mile for Prime Inc. or England, which we have a very, very good safety rating. Okay, or do we? Would the corporate capitalists want to pay 70 cents a mile and let another company that is not as a good safety rating as we do, like Swift, to haul the freight? Well, I know a lot of rich folk, and a lot of rich folk, they love to gamble. And if they can make more in profit, you best believe that they're going to go ahead and gamble that. If there's an issue, then they say, okay, well, let's not give them all this freight. Let's move it on to somebody else. We're going to have to pay a little bit more, but we're still profitable. But that's the number one thing. If you want to, make more profits for yourself as a corporate capitalist, you want to cut your overhead. And the number one overhead is your employees. That's why they're wanting to, all these companies badly wanting to go to automation so bad. Well, that's fine. You can do that, but you do realize that you're killing the goose that's laying your golden eggs. Meaning, okay, if all these companies out here went totally automated and got rid of their employees, how is people going to make a living and make money to pay for and buy what you are trying to produce? Makes sense, don't it? Our auto industry is getting a hard lesson in that. Like Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler that abandoned the United States for cheap foreign labor, and now most of your Americans can't even afford the cheapest made car. But my heads up on this is, in business standpoint, why should I produce more for less when I can produce less for more? That's what causes inflation. So if you folks want to turn to this political party or this political party or this political candidate and blame them, you're blaming the wrong people, and it's laughable. And when people do that, someone like me who does know looks at it and say, this person does not know, and I'm going to try to explain it to them. But when you try to explain it to them, that's another story to get them to understand it. Because a lot of people think that they're right, they're set in their ways, their way of thinking is the way things are. No, it's not. There's going by what you're being told in the media, and then there's the reality of the situation. Well, freight normally is not slow like this. And yeah, getting a message like that does raise an eyebrow. Well, mine anyway. Now, if you don't live in the United States, yeah, it may not affect you, but always remember, when shit rolls down a pipe, it always goes down, don't it? Usually when something happens in the States, it trickles all over the world. And yeah, sometimes it may not affect your country, but it might. But this is mostly to my fellow Americans here that want to listen. And, when things happen, they're like, well, we tried to warn you and tried to tell you and give you a heads up, but nobody wanted to listen. But I care, is why I say things like this, because it's going to cause more and more heartache, because the prices of things at your grocery store is going to continue to go up. And I want to address this labor shortage, which is laughable. It's just another excuse to scapegoat the actual issue, because they figured, we just throw out a buzzword there for them to have fun with, like all the other buzzwords, to keep you distracted from the reality of the situation. There is no such thing as a labor shortage. There's some factors involved here. They had employees that lost their job for a while, and not all of them came back. Some of them did, and they worked for a while. Now, some of these probably quit because it's not safe. Two, it doesn't pay, because there's nobody going to work for minimum wage. And I know that there's a lot of people out there, you got to start somewhere. And I'm like, okay, bonehead, you lose your job and you're told not to come to work. Those people that you just, talked a bunch of crap about say, well, you got to start somewhere. Yeah, people that were on the job for 20 years lost their job because corporate capitalist decision decided to do that for you to solve yourself. Go find another job. Are you going to like it when somebody calls you lazy or on drugs or whatever it is? All the other excuses that they use. I know a lot of good people that lost their job during the pandemic, and it didn't come back either. Well, they got the wrong degree. The wrong degree? What degrees does people need to be getting? You need to evaluate other countries and the degrees that they get. Yes, there's probably some stupid ones out there, but we're going to need certain things because we're not graduating a whole hell of a lot of scientists right now. No, those are mostly in China and other countries. They're producing more scientists than we are because that's not important. And I hear, oh, you need to get into construction and build. Okay, that's fine. People can get into construction and engineering. What good does that do that when you got a massive bunch of people doing that when you already have an overwhelming amount of people in the field doing it, especially the ones that are going to undercut you, namely a lot of Latinos. Why? Because those Latinos are very good at what they do. You can say what you want, but I've known people to get an addition to their house that was built by Latinos, bunch of Mexicans that didn't speak a lick of English. But you look at it today, this was done 15 years ago, that addition. You look at it today, it still looks like it did the day they built it. Now, the next door neighbor, that friends of those people, had their roof done by an American contractor. Okay? Now, this addition that they did to their house, it only took them 2 days. What held them up is waiting for the mud to dry and the paint to dry. That was it. They did it in 2 days. These idiots, the contractors that did the roofs and the next door neighbor, it took them 3 weeks. I helped those people do their the other people do their roof. Me and two others, and we did it within a few hours. Those idiots took 3 weeks to do a roof, and you know what? To this day, the shingles are falling off. But this is getting with the reality of folks. And oh, hi, Precious. How you doing? I'm glad to see you in here. I hope I don't bore you too much, but no, this is really actually giving people information that they could use to be prepared. To let's not make foolish purchases. I know that there's a lot of people that want things, and there's things that I want, but I'm not doing it because of the way the inflation is, the way the economy is going, and you could have all the money in the world, but when it comes to a bad situation, like let's say that the market crashes, you can't eat money or gold. You can eat food, but you can't eat money or gold. That's why some of my family members that lived during the Great Depression, they owned farms. They didn't go hungry while everybody else was starving around them. They didn't go hungry. Yes, they didn't have a whole heck of a lot of money, but they didn't go hungry because why? They had the prime source, food source. They had livestock. They had a farm. They grew beans and corn. They didn't go hungry. That's why, basically I've been storing a lot of non-perishable items in my basement. I'm running out of room though. But that's what a lot of my fellow Americans need to think about because we've been repeating history, and this is another piece of history that we don't want to repeat, but it's a mathematical certainty. But like I said, a lot of people aren't buying cars. The auto industry just took a dump. I knew it was coming because nobody can afford to buy. The mass of Americans cannot afford to buy. Just like a lot of mass of Americans can't afford to buy housing. And I'm like, hey, look, dude, if you can sell that house for what you're asking for it, hey, more power to you. Yeah, and you just screwed somebody. But I'm telling you, that house that you're trying to sell in probably about 2 to 3 years ain't going to be worth half that if you don't sell it. And it's a buyer's market. Well, we can sell this house. Oh, yeah, really? That house has been on the market for 3 years and been empty because nobody's going to give you that amount for that house. And aside from that, nobody has the money to give you for that house. Everybody's trying to, that's in business like this, is trying to hold on to as much as possible what we call the American dream that has been dead for about 10 years. I believe the American dream's last breath was in 2008 because we really never recovered from that. You know, some people said, oh, yeah, we did. No, we did. That individual that says that probably wasn't really affected by it because not everybody was. In their own little way, they were, but now it's getting to the point where everybody's being affected because we never recovered from that. And we had another crash in 2020. I ought to tell you about our economic system. It's not very stable, is it? In the first 20 years of this century, we had three major crashes of our economic system. Does that sound like a stable and economic system to you? No, it don't. Like here in the United States, our GDP, we're lucky to get 1 to 2%. In China, they're getting 7 to 9%. Now you know why that our economies are coming really close, and they're probably going to pass us very soon. And I know a lot of people don't like that. There's this because the way the media does things is making it a big prejudice against these Chinese people. I know a lot of Chinese people. And what's funny is they were our ally in World War II. Why all of a sudden the hatred towards them, or trying to provoke them into a war that they don't want? They want to do business. They're not interested in conquering. Me, I put things out there like this to let everybody know I have my own mind and my own way of critical thinking. And no, I do not agree upon what my country does. It's not my country. It's the ones who are leading this country that are making the decisions doing that, not the country itself. But I pass this information along to try to help people. If you just don't care and think I'm full of shit, hey, that's fine too. But me and my colleagues haven't been wrong. We're not going to predict the future like this is going to happen or that's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Because you can keep band-aiding a wound and putting tape on it and put a little stick of gum over here. All of a sudden you're going to end up with a big mess, and it's all going to come apart. Or when one piece comes apart, then it all slowly starts to fall apart on you. And that's what we've done to this economic system that we have. Instead of, it's like what my college professor euphemism that he used. It's like a farm, and they had an old barn. It's been in the family for over 100 years. You put a patch here, replace a window there, redo part of the roof. There comes a time where you just say, look, let's save a piece of wood as a memento and just tear it down and build a new barn. Just like our economic system. Capitalism had its time in the sun, and it should have died back in the 1930s, but didn't. It's time to put the toys away and get with reality and a better system, because we could do better than capitalism. Because capitalism is not the end of anything, the end all of be all. Those who studied economics throughout the past 500 years, every economic system in history of humans, the economic system is born, evolves over time, and dies. Capitalism, no exception. Born 17th century England, spread throughout the rest of the world, evolved over time, and you can look around if you're in the United States and you can see which way it's going. But this is valuable information. But the ones that don't like what I just said, hey, I didn't like it either. But you come to the point where we're going to face reality instead of burying our head in the sand and try to make things the way we want them, because it doesn't work that way. Just like our former president, Donald Trump. Everything that's been going on is not Donald Trump's fault. I'm not blaming him at all. But one thing I am saying is these people that were talking about him that made him sound like he was the second coming of Christ. I'm like, that's in your mind. You can't make people the way you want them. You can in your mind, but in reality, you can't make somebody who you want them to be. Just like falling in love, it's the same way. Like you fall in love with somebody, whether it be a Panay, a Japanese lady, you fall in love with them and you see them the way you want to see them until you actually get to know them and you find out, oh my God, I can't believe that she's that way. Maybe I could tolerate it for a while. Maybe it's not such a big deal. That's why relationships are great at first. Then when you get to know them because everybody has their flaws. Everybody. Can you tolerate these flaws? Build a relationship on that? Because you're going to get flaws no matter who you're with. Ace, I am currently in the southeastern corner of Missouri. I was in Tennessee. I'm headed to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I got a load of chickens. Dead chickens. My chickens, I actually saw come into the warehouse alive. Oh, how you doing, Sammy? I saw them come into the warehouse alive.
Why you wasn't say hi to us?
Well, I can't really look at the chat. I just glance over.
Only one person that you say hi. Ace, hello, Ace.
Well, I just noticed Ace, and I glanced over and I saw Robert and Precious. That's all I saw.
I wasn't here that you say hi to Robert. You're doofus.
Well, Robert's usually here before anybody else anyway.
Yeah, he's the first one. I saw it. I'm taking dinner.
I already had breakfast.
I'm still doing pipe, kuya.
But I made friends all over the world, just like Sammy. Wherever you're from, Australians. I made friends all over the world. So I'm like, look, not all Americans are created equal in a way the way they act. Okay. You have a lot of Americans that still think that the American dream is alive and well. It's not. It's been dead for a long time. And they have this thing called keeping up with the Joneses. Like this idiot that just has this boat. Yeah, it's a nice boat and everything. Like, yeah, go ahead, have a good time. But it's like people compete of what they have and what they own. And I'm like, you go have fun. Because to me, it's a big waste of money, and it may give you a boost of gratification there for the first 10 minutes, but then it wanes too.
But you
Just
like
like getting
listening to
that. Oh,
joke.
go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry, Sam.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, just
Sorry.
like when you get that hottie Japanese girl. If I got her, I wouldn't parade around and brag to all my friends. I would never do that. It
Who?
would
Kana?
feel great. Yeah, it would feel great. Yes, and I'd keep it to myself. But there are some that are out there that, hey, look at the woman that I got. Yeah. How long is that going to last?
You're
How
silly, huh?
long? How long do you think you can make a woman like that happy? Ugh.
I don't know. Because me, I am always happy. Especially that I am doing something, I am always happy. Like this, all my life. La 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 la. Oh,
Sammy, you've been doing things that I would enjoy. Even
what?
when I was a kid, I would enjoy. You've been doing things that I would enjoy. A
Why
nice,
you want?
comfy house with a TV and watching some good program with some popcorn. To me,
We just yeah, we
that's a
just
good
done
time.
one movie over there, and then while we are taking dinner, and Kuya Naki still looking some good video over there, and then if he can find a good video, he will going to sis, come over, like that.
Well, if I don't know if Netflix runs the same movies
No,
as what we would get.
he have Fire Stick now.
Well, try to
He
watch
brought.
Smokey and the Bandit. You'd enjoy that.
I'm not sure what is it again.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Can you search Smokey and Abandon?
A band. Smokey and the Bandit. Smokey is what we call the state troopers out here on the highway. They're the police. They're the state police. We call them Smokey for short because they look like Smokey Bear because of the round brown they wear. This is Sheriff Buford T. Justice. I'm in pursuit of a black Trans Am. He's all mine, so stay out of the way.
Oh my God, silly.
See, that's the way trucking was in my dad's day. I was only like 6 years old when that movie came out. Of Texas into Arkansas, he was out of his jurisdiction. He was talking. He was talking to the sheriff of some county in Alabama. They put up a roadblock to get the bandit, and he gets on the radio. Sheriff Buford T. Justice says, he goes, "Did you say that you were from Texas?" Yes, that's a Big 10-4. This is Sheriff Buford T. Justice of Texas. He goes, "Do you realize you're out of your jurisdiction? Because the fact that you're a sheriff is not germane to the situation." He's like, "The goddamn Germans have nothing to do with it." And his son goes to tell him something from the passenger seat, and he looks over. He goes, "Hold on, one shit at a time." Oh, I love that movie. It's hilarious. Hey, boy, where's Sheriff Branford? I am Sheriff Branford. He was like, "Oh," the big black dude. "But you sounded a little taller on radio." No, he sounded like he was white, is what it was. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Thanks for mentioning that convoy. Yeah, Convoy was all right. There was just some things in it that were a bit ridiculous and not with reality. It's more fantasy. Now that's true. I would not want to drive behind Pigpen either. I hate being even where nowhere near those damn bull haulers because they smell. They call them shit boxes. They smell something awful. And when I do get passed by one, I'll slow down to get them way up the highway to get them far away because I do not want to smell that crap. But my complaint about the movie Convoy as I got older and understood, I'm like, where the hell are they going? Are they hauling freight and going from point A to point B? Because it costs a lot of money in diesel. Maybe not back then, but it costs a lot of money in diesel to go to point A to point B. And I'm like, if they're doing this for free, because I sure as hell wouldn't, I'd be like, I'm going home and getting out of the truck for a while, and I'm going to find something else to do. Hi, Tim Dazia. Sammy muted, just to let her know if she's still there.
Kuya Naki say, what's up, Sean?
Hi, Naki. Yeah, I've been trying to, but wanting you to watch that movie. Then you'd get a little bit of understanding the way
Who's there?
trucking used to be. Oh, how you doing, Naki? I wanted Sammy to see that movie because Smokey and the Bandit is probably one of the best trucking movies there is about trucking. The way it was in my dad's day, I remember it.
It wouldn't come up. It's not on Netflix.
But that's what I'm saying. It might be different in other countries because I could still get it when I log into it.
On Netflix.
Yeah, but it may come around and here soon when they change them up. I think they change them up once a month.
Kuya Tim. Good evening.
It might be on cinema. I don't know. I'll have to check.
This is what I did. Put what the hell is
Because a fire broke, a jailbroke a fire stick and put a cinema channel on there.
Yeah, the only reason why part 3 was worth watching was because Jackie Gleason was in it. And he made it funny when he was with his son. His son's laid up on the hood.
He was in the first one, too.
Yeah, he was in the first 3.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know it, but
the second too.
The second one's pretty good, but it was funny. It had Dom DeLuise in it as a doctor from Italy. But a lot of people don't know this. There were 7 of them, not just 3. The other 4 were ready-made for TV movies, and they made it like they threw them out there to see how they would do because they were thinking about making it a TV series, but it didn't really do all that well.
I'm going to have a nasty scar on my foot.
What'd you step on?
No, I got a 3rd-degree burn on it.
Ooh.
Because we are cooking and then,
I was cooking sausage. I was boiling it, and I was flipping with the tongs, and one slipped out of the tongs hit the water. I had socks on, and it hit my sock, and it just soaked, and it just stayed there and just ate through my skin.
Because he wasn't called me that I get burn, something like that.
It's a little bigger than a quarter.
Yeah, Naki, our way of barbecuing, they're not used to over there, but I know they would enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can get charcoal, can you? The briquettes?
What kaya?
Charcoal for grilling.
Yeah.
The way we do it. Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way to barbecue, man.
Yeah.
I like smoking stuff.
That would be expensive to do. I don't think anybody would do something like that over there. But you would start a trend, Naki.
I had a smoker in America.
You have the knowledge to build one, I think.
Oh, I like the easy ones, the electric ones. because it keeps the temperature steady on electric ones.
He always wants easy thing.
Gas ones, will go
Hey.
up and down, and if you're trying to do wood, it's tough to keep this the same temperature.
Yeah, if you use wood, hickory is the best.
But I'll use hickory chips in the electric smoker.
Uh-huh. But
And
like
cherry, hickory.
a lot of your truck stops in Alabama, if they're smoking meat, it looks like the place is on fire.
Well, you're only supposed to smoke for about the first hour of the meat.
Oh, they know how to smoke meat there, though. In Alabama, it is really good. Like, damn, it looks like the place is on fire.
I make baby back ribs. They just fall off the bone. They're delicious.
The secret to ribs, Sammy, is I learned this from one of my black friends. You boil the ribs first, just for a bit, so you can peel that membrane on the inside of the ribs off. When you peel it off, it looks like a chitlin. But that's because you don't
get a
want
wet paper towel and start at the corner. The whole thing comes off without boiling.
I tried that. It's a pain.
Ow. So you're so strong.
Then I smoke them for 6 hours.
When you smoke something, Sammy, it doesn't necessarily cook it. It just adds a lot of flavor to it.
Well, it still cooks it. It's just a slow cook.
Yeah. Like smoked oysters. Oh my God, I'll eat those all day long. You smoke some oysters?
I thought it's my laptop screen that have a douchebag, but
The
it's
key
in your
is using
screen.
yellow mustard. Put yellow mustard on first. That keeps them nice and moist. You don't taste mustard you don't taste any mustard after 6 hours though. But that keeps them nice and moist.
Ohio has my most favorite mustard, and I've tried mustard in almost every state. Ohio, I don't know how far that they ship their stuff out, but it's called Wolbers. If you go to Cincinnati Reds or a Cleveland Indians game, they have it exclusively. Their spicy mustard is the best in the world.
Say Tullivers?
No, Wolbers starts with a W. It's got the chef on it with a magic wand.
No, I never heard of it.
Oh my God, it's really good. Everybody gets that and puts it on their dog or their sausage
I
or
like
whatever.
I like the spicy brown mustard.
Well, that's what it's like.
Grey Poupon. I like Grey Poupon.
Yeah, but that's for the more posh people. Like the guy in the limo.
It tastes good though.
Yeah, I did that over in England once. We were riding in a Rolls Royce limo, me and Barry. I rolled down the window and looked over, and there was these pretty girls. They rolled down their window. Do you have any Grey Poupon? I did. At first, they looked at me, and the other girl started laughing.
Pardon me,
She
you
got
have any Grey Poupon?
But of course.
But of course I do. I am still waiting for my golf clubs.
Have you spotted any golf courses nearby?
No, there's none near here.
I think you have to go to the Luzon around Manila to find one, maybe.
No, they're down by Darwin and Dumaguete. There's golf courses.
Yeah, I have to say there has to be a golf course somewhere because when you got a high concentration of that many old American men or white men around, there's a golf course somewhere.
I know there's
Gotta
a couple around Darwin.
Problem is, I could never take the game seriously. Whenever I'm out on a golf course, I start acting like I'm in the movie Caddyshack.
I play 3 days a week at home.
What, the golf?
Mhm.
Ah, yeah.
I play 3 times a week at home.
Have her watch that movie. She'll understand. Caddyshack. Every time I'm on a golf course, I feel like I'm in the movie Caddyshack.
I haven't looked that one up. That's a funny movie.
Oh yeah, it's got Rodney Dangerfield in it. Hey, Judge, $1,000 you slice in the woods. Oh, the nerve!
Yes, Kuya Tim, Dumaguete have.
He did. He sliced it in the woods. He goes,
I'll see if that's on there tonight.
Huh?
Caddyshack. Pretty funny movie.
like that. The head greenskeeper was Scottish. Jerry Boy would like get a kick out of that. He was Scottish, and he's talking
Bill
to
Murray. Bill Murray.
no. Bill Murray was the assistant greenskeeper.
Oh, that's
The,
right.
the, the Scottish guy was his boss. He goes, "I want you to kill every golfer on the course." Excuse me, if I kill all the
You ever
golfers.
see Robin Williams do the invention of golf?
Oh yeah,
That is so funny.
yeah. That's what caused me to invent that joke about how bagpipes were invented. Oh, that was easy. You get a band and a drunk plumber, and they invented the bagpipes. One drunken night with a plumber, and you end up with an instrument called the bagpipes.
But that skit he did when golf got invented, that was so funny.
But I'll tell you what, that's one of the most hardest instruments to learn how to play is the pipes,
Yeah. Never even had him held a pair.
because you're blowing air into that hose, but all that's doing is filling the bag back up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to squeeze it with your elbow for the pipes to play. There is another one, the Umlinden pipes. I can't remember how, but you don't blow into it. It's a baffle. It shares air and it goes back and forth in two bladders, and it wraps around your waist, and you hold it like the bagpipes, but there are no pipes per se. You play it and you squeeze with your elbow on one side. When that air is gone, then you squeeze with your left elbow. It's a pretty interesting instrument. There's a guy that plays in the band Nightwish that plays those.
What band?
Nightwish,
Night Watch or Night Wish?
Nightwish. They're from
Night-
Finland.
I never heard of them.
Oh, excellent band. Their singer Flor Jensen, she's a goddess. Jerry Boy may have heard of them because he's in the UK. Because they're big, especially in Europe.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, the bass player looks like 100% Viking.
I watched a good Viking movie the other day. Seven Kings or something must die or something.
I never heard that one. I like the TV show Vikings, but they ended it so early. But they came out with a pre-sequel. I think it's pre-sequel, or it's further on down the road in
Well,
the
this movie
storyline.
started like the Vikings were friends with the English. They own land over there.
Yeah, at one time, yeah, that happened to make peace, but somebody broke the peace and they went back to war.
Yeah, they went back to war. It was a pretty
Yeah, the
good
Viking-
movie.
Yeah, the Vikings were freaks.
That was
When they
pretty good. It was a pretty good movie though.
conquered an area, they took care of the women.
Yeah.
That's why most of Europe is all mixed. The same thing over here. Two of my grandparents, got with the Chippewa Indian. That's why, when God created me, he put me in a Cuisinart, and I came out of it.
Well, I told you before I'm royalty in England, right?
Do what?
I told you I'm royalty from England, right?
I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, my would be my great grandmother worked in Buckingham Palace, and she got pregnant by one of Queen Victoria's sons.
Oh yeah, the royalty, they fool around with a lot of people.
Yeah, she was the help in the palace, and he got her pregnant. Then they banned her, and then they didn't put the father's name on a birth certificate. Well, my grandmother was born, but my sister traced it back, and she even knows what prince it was.
It reminds me of that song from Bob and Tom from Minneapolis, Indiana, on Q95. They'd come up with these ridiculous songs, and one of them they wrote was called "Dear Penthouse," and everybody had a character. They did one of their characters in the song, and my favorite verse in that song was from In Saint Anne. He was from England. He wasn't real; he was a fake character, but he had the English accent down pretty good. And then during the song, he goes, "Dear Penthouse, I've been a rock and roll roadie since 1966. I got naked Polaroids of lots of famous chicks. Yes, I got Joan Jett, Janice, and Grace. Hey, there's Stevie Nicks sitting on me face. And for a price, I'll sell 'em all. Even this one of a big, blurry ass. Yeah, it's a wide-angled shot from behind of Mama Cass." The
And
chorus
that's why
goes,
I have German in me, because Queen Victoria's husband was from Germany.
well, Windsor is not their last name. They changed it long ago. They're actually
No, I'm
German.
saying Queen Victoria married that guy from Germany.
Uh huh.
That's why we have German in us. My dad took a DNA test. We didn't know we had German in us.
But
Then
all the
they,
way up to Elizabeth I, they're all German. They're of German descent. They
well,
changed their last name to make it sound British.
yeah. Well, that's probably another reason they're in me. I don't know. What was that guy's name from Germany? Prince Albert. She married
Oh, it
Prince
was
Albert.
Prince Albert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hell, man, they're all related. Majority of the royal families there, they're all related. Because they only
Well,
married royalty.
I think that's why she married a guy from Germany, so wouldn't be related.
That's why it never worked in the Asian countries. Because, back when they had, emperors and, dynasty lords and all that, and their son would look at her and go, "I'd never fuck her." No, that is one ugly panda bitch.
Okay.
Because Asian guys can tend to be picky, especially the Japanese and Chinese.
I don't like either of them, to tell you the truth. No offense.
What?
Oh, I love Japanese women.
Or Japanese people.
Mhm.
Japanese people can be rude.
But your best
I,
here in the
I can't say you're wrong.
Philippines
I didn't say Filipino. I said Japanese. We were down at Disney World, and there was a lot of Japanese down there, and they would cut right in front of you in line, push you. I'm like,
Wow.
really?
Now, when I was in Japan, that never happened.
Well,
But
they know
I
not
have-
do it in their home country, but they do it when they're out of the country. Then
But that's why I've been in debate with some people on YT. They don't like their space invaded. They don't touch them, don't hug them. Don't. I'm like, wait a minute. I was sitting there, and these girls would get right up in my face to look at my eyes, and someone would grab my hand like they're wanting to hold my hand. No, they were looking at how big my hands were, and just in amazement. And I'm trying to communicate with them, and it's like, what's going on?
because they just met Godzilla.
Yeah,
there
well,
there was a waitress in Ground Zero. She put her hand up to mine and says, "Whoa, your hand's so big." It's
Yeah.
about
Well,
half the size of mine.
it happened in the Philippines too. The only difference is I could communicate with them. They all spoke English.
How many times I measure my hand to your hand? 3 times maybe? I forgot.
You want to show him my foot?
Huh?
You want to show him my foot?
Sure. Look at his foot, Kuya Son.
See it?
I really can't see it. I can see your foot, but not detail.
Because we don't put
Oh, damn. Looks like
Yeah.
you got nailed to the cross. Walking with Jesus.
It was
yeah,
infected, so I had to go to the doctor.
yeah,
Yeah, the skin on top of the foot there is very sensitive. That's why it burns so quickly.
yeah. It's
Well, if I wouldn't have had socks on, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but the sock kept the water right there, and that's why it just burnt right through.
Yeah, the grease.
No, it was boiling hot water.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been
Yeah.
grease from the sausage.
No, it was boiling hot water. I don't know what the temperature of boiling hot water is, but that's what hit my foot.
Oh,
because I'm the one that who are boiling that one, and then he replaced my, you know, because he would like to help. Yeah, and that's
it'd be
why
it'd be nice if you had an aloe vera plant nearby.
I have.
Well, break one of the leaves and squeeze all the snot out of it and put it on there. It'll get rid of the pain and everything else. That's what it's there for,
I killed all the nerves, so it doesn't really hurt.
and it makes it heal quicker too.
It's starting to itch, though.
Yeah,
That means it's healing if it's starting to itch.
Yeah, raw aloe vera is the best for a burn. You break one
Well,
of the
they gave me
leaves.
that white
big
cream, too. There's
Yeah, but
probably
it's not
aloe vera
100%. Yeah, but
There's probably
it's your.
aloe vera in that cream.
Oh yeah, but not that much. They dilute it down. That's why it's good to go over there and break one of the stalks off and squeeze the snot out of it.
Yeah, there was water underneath it last week, but then it got infected.
Because when you use actual raw aloe vera, that's what it looks.
Yeah, that's supposed to. I will let you know. I will let you say that. Yeah, yeah, that I'm there singing again that music, oh that song.
I forget the name of that band. Is it Lionheart or something?
Lady, can you?
Who sings that song,
forgive
Lady? Not Sticks.
me?
Not Sticks, the other band.
How many times that did they song that song today?
3.
Maybe that is the 3rd time.
You know who sings that song? Not the one by
Well,
Kenny
there's-
Rogers or Sticks. The other one. Lady.
Well, there's a Striper does a song called "Lady."
Not Striper.
I wanna be your man. I karaoke'd that once, and I did the one by Styx. Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
No, that's not the one.
Not the one.
Lady,
Might be
can
Lionheart.
you forgive me?
Is it Lionheart or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Well, you really know how to. You really got to be a good singer to sing because they hit some very high notes in it.
I can't really do high notes too well.
Then you ain't sing that song. I'm serious. You got to hit a high notes.
I sing that song one time in my live stream.
I think it's Lionheart. I'm not 100% though. Well, they can't. Apparently, they can't sing it. I hear them trying to sing it. They messed it up.
Well, wait a minute. There is a band called Steelheart.
It might be Stillheart. Could be Stillheart.
You can search it there,
That's what I'm doing.
lady.
Yeah, but if I say Lady, it Sticks and Kenny Rogers is going to come up.
No.
Yeah, and everybody forgot about the one that was done by Striper. They got a Grammy for that.
Search. Lady.
Ooh.
Lady Gaga. Just lady.
That's all I hit.
Hit the search.
Kenny Rogers.
You see
Kenny
you
Rogers.
stand
Kenny
there, oh so fine. I
Told you,
can't
Kenny
believe my
Rogers. I don't
eyes.
think that ain't it.
Maybe that one.
It's not it. Kenny Rogers. This one might be. It's Stillheart. There it is.
Maybe that one.
Yeah,
Try to play it.
It's this one. It's this one. She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
They say Lady a lot. I thought it was called Lady.
She's gone. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep playing that. I think I've heard that before.
Steelheart.
It is
So she's
Steelheart.
gone. The Steelheart. She's gone is the title of it.
Oh,
But they say lady through the whole song. That's why I thought it was lady.
Me too. I thought so.
well, that's like Asian ladies. You get comfortable and settled in and starting to talk, and they get up and walk away.
You can have this copyright, kuya.
I really don't care. I'm just trying to pass along information and talk with friends.
Was it?
Listen to the high notes they hit in this song.
Yeah, some of those singers, I believe they had their nuts cut off to sing that high because I can't do it.
Without your love.
Yeah, Steelheart was one of those bands that were very underrated. Another underrated band was Red Rider. Yes, you got to have your balls cut off to sing that high if you're a dude. I'd like to hear somebody karaoke that one in a live stream. I'd like to know who could hit that high because I can't come close.
That's so high.
Did you hear how notes are this so high?
Yeah, there's no way. That's why I say someone had to kick him in the nuts or cut his nuts off to sing that high. Or put his balls in a vice. One of the things, tighten that thing up. Do it! No way. I'm glad I'm a natural baritone. That's all. I'm glad for that.
You're welcome.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah, I think that's why I only did those songs one time because I can't sing as high as Michael Sweet and Dennis DeYoung.
She's gone. They are gone. I don't know where they go. Why they living on you? Forgive them.
It's pretty sad. A lot of legendary bands are really starting to disappear now. You're not going to see them anymore. And there isn't really going to be anybody worth a damn to go see anymore and live in concert. Got a bra problem? Ann's Bra Shop.
Breeze is blocked.
Sit down that side. Open that window. So you can have...
There's
Yeah.
no breeze going in there.
It's from Electric Fan Breeze.
She built her house backwards. She don't get none of the ocean breeze in her house at all. You You stand on the side of the house, it's 10 degrees cooler because of the breeze, the ocean breeze. And she don't got no windows back there for coming in. Her house is backwards.
I will put yeah in the front of there soon. I will build what the call porch over there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get the band back together. I've been in contact with them. Say, hey, let's just do this one show, at my daughter's graduation party.
I can play a little guitar.
We other one is invited the mayor, like our mayor. And I was always wanting to have a block party. I said, yeah, we all grew up with those, and that's the only way to get people away from the damn computer and their cell phone, to be sociable. And if that happens, I'm hopefully to get the band back together, and I'll be doing a live stream or I'll record some of it. I'm thinking about go ahead and find somebody that plays bass guitar. That way I don't have to play it. I could just sing. Makes it a lot easier.
Oh.
Yeah, I found being the singer is where it's at.
My foot's tight too. The skin on it's tight. If I go like that, it's tight.
Because I originally started playing drums as a kid, and I noticed, wait a minute, the other guys are getting more of the attention, and they get to wander around from the girls. And I'm like, well, hell, I'm gonna pick up guitar instead of playing drums. That's why I can play multiple instruments.
Where are you going, Kuya?
I'm going to Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Okay.
I'm about an hour and a half south of St. Louis.
Nothing but corn in Iowa.
Oh, I forgot to buy a sweet corn earlier. There's a
If you want any corn, go to Iowa.
Or Illinois. Illinois's got a lot of it too. But that's all Iowa is nothing but farms. I'm curious who's got the Field of Dreams game this year. First, this will be the third year that they're going to have it. First year was the White Sox and Yankees. Last year was the Cubs and Reds. And both Chicago teams won each one. White Sox won the first year, Cubs won the second year. Yeah, they play a game where they actually filmed the movie Field of Dreams in Iowa.
Oh, it's hurting.
I have a migraine last night. That's why I'm so constipated. I'm still doofus last night.
Now they're singing Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
But basically, a lot of the bands that were in existence or still exist, they're not all the original members. None of them are. They'll be like one or two. But other than that, you're not going to find an intact band that has all its original members. And if you ever have a chance to go see them, because they're not going to be around too much longer, because all of them are getting too old. Age finally caught up with Gene Simmons. He had to stop during the concert and sit down. Gene Simmons
Well, that
said,
band ain't original. That band ain't original.
well, the two owners are. Ace and
That's
Pete never owned any of the band. They were hired by Gene and Paul.
Yeah, but they started all about the same time.
Yeah, Gene and Paul became friends, and they got rid of everybody in Wicked Lester, and they went ahead and dropped that name, Wicked Lester, and they put ads in for a guitarist and a drummer, and that's where they found Peter and Ace.
Yeah, but Kiss didn't start till they got them guys.
Oh yeah, they already did. I mean, they weren't famous or anything. They were in a band, Wicked Lester, together.
I understand that, but I'm saying Kiss didn't start until they got the other two guys.
Yes, they hired
I think it
uh,
was.
Ace and
I think
Pete.
it was either Peter or the guitarist that came up with the logo for Kiss.
It was Ace. Ace come up with the logo. Paul,
Ace Frehley came up with
yeah,
the logo.
Paul came up with the name, and I like that. They make a big deal about it. Like in Germany, they can't use their normal logo because it has the two lightning bolt S's, and it's like, people, you do realize Gene and Paul are Jewish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Gene lost his grandparents in Auschwitz. Uh, you could probably drop that idea. Well, but a lot of people wanted to argue with me on that. Like, we had this one guy in our high school come and preach to us about things like that, and they showed the KISS logo, and I raised my hand. And he goes, yes. I said, you do realize Gene and Paul, the co-owners of that band, are Jewish, right? The whole crowd got quiet and was looking at me like, yeah, they're Jewish. Like, Paul Stanley's real name is Stanley Isaiah. You can't get any more Jewish than that. And Gene's real name is Chamwitz.
I thought he was from Iran or something.
No, Gene was born in Haifa, Israel.
Yeah, Israel.
England or English is not his first language. He spoke Yiddish when he came here to the States. He was like 5 years old, and he learned how to speak English. But he learned many other languages too. Gene's a really smart man. I think he knows like 8 languages.
I like some of Ace's songs.
Yeah, Ace was a good songwriter. He was probably one of the better ones. It's Peter that really didn't fit in. But at the time, he sounded great, and that's what they were looking for. But he wouldn't grow. They were worried about substance abuse problems. And Pete was more of a jazz style drummer. And times were changing because of, like, Led Zeppelin came around, you know, the heavier, faster beats and all that, and he couldn't keep up.
He sung that Best song pretty good though.
That was the only song that he did that really helped the band.
No, I liked Black Diamond. He sung too.
Well, he sung it, but Paul wrote that. A lot of the songs that were written, you know, they're like, it doesn't sound good with me singing it. Why don't you sing it, Gene? And Gene would sing it, you know. Because a lot of the songs that Gene sings wasn't written by him. They were written by Paul. But, you know, 1980 rolled around. Pete was getting pissed off because he was writing music and that they wouldn't take. It's like, it doesn't fit with the band, Pete. It's a good song, but it doesn't fit with our sound. So he left. And they ended up having an audition, and that's when they found Eric Carr. And Eric Carr really put KISS on the map then. Eric Carr was probably the better drummer of the three that they've had. Now, Eric Singer's a good drummer.
Died though, didn't he?
Yeah, he died of a very rare form of heart cancer at the age of 41. First time I saw KISS in concert was 3 months before he passed. It was November of 1990 when I saw them. It was the Hot in the Shade tour. And he passed, I think, in March of 91.
I never saw them in concert.
Oh, I've seen them 10 times. I'd like to see them one more time before they stop.
Did you turn off the TV? It's turned off by itself, maybe.
But Gene said it, you know, he don't bring chickens anymore. We're all in our.
If Ace and Peter were in the band.
Ace and Pete just could not. I would like to bring Ace back, but not Peter. Peter never worked out. He could not grow. He couldn't grow and improve and play differently. That's why he's more of a jazz drummer than a rock and roll drummer. When they got rid of Pete and brought in Eric Singer and kept Ace, oh, they were great.
The Ace and
But
Peter were good friends.
to a point, they would fight too. But the best guitarist that Kiss ever had, hands down, Bruce Kulick.
No, I like Ace.
But then again, Ace wouldn't grow. And their foolishness got the better of them. And Gene and Paul were all business, and they wanted to keep
Well,
going.
still Ace and Peter still gets money from them.
Oh yeah, but
No financial commitments.
Peter was the oldest, and he's pushing 80, and he has very bad arthritis in his hands. He couldn't continue because every time he hit the crash cymbals, his hands would hurt very bad. That's why he couldn't continue anymore, because he got arthritis in his hands very bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul's voice is gone, and Gene said it. We're not spring chickens anymore. We're all in our 70s, and we're wearing 40 to 50 pounds in armor every night, performing for 2.5 hours. It just takes its toll. It's like putting a 70-year-old in football plaids and throwing them out there on the football field. He said it doesn't work very well. But it comes to a point where they, really don't have to do this anymore, especially Gene. Gene's got so many businesses, and he's a rich man. He doesn't have to. He just sold 2 houses already.
They're all rich.
He sold the big mansion he had in Beverly Hills because everybody's moving out of Beverly Hills. They're all moving to Nevada. They are. They're all moving to Nevada. But he sold that one mansion he had in Henderson, Nevada, because he has a new house that he has in Lake Tahoe that he's living in now. Him and his wife, Shannon Tweed. But that's what I would do, too. I wouldn't live in California. Are you kidding? I'd live outside the outskirts of Vegas. No, a lot of them are moving to Nevada.
And Texas.
Yeah, there might be some moving to Texas, but not as much as they're moving to Nevada, because Nevada's tax rate is one of the lowest in the country, and land is real cheap out there.
Well, they don't have a state tax in Nevada. Pennsylvania has a high state tax.
But the problem is the expensive housing market is around the Vegas area. You don't want to own a house or buy a house in Las Vegas. The price has been going down, but
Henderson,
it's still overly priced.
Up in Henderson.
Well, Henderson is like
up in Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson is more of the posh area of Vegas. I deliver ice cream there, the Americold there in Henderson.
There's a lot of gated communities up there.
What?
It's north.
What is gated?
You can't get in the house. You can't get in there. It's private.
Or you can't get into community. That's where Beverly Hills is. They gate the entire community. But the ones that are buying the houses in Beverly Hills are your big sports athletes. A lot of your celebrities are moving out.
Man, they've been karaoke all day over there.
Yeah, all day, all night.
We'll go over and join them.
I don't even know where it's at.
Why, you like to go? Let's go.
I don't even know where it's at.
I know.
Sounds far away.
No, it's about that.
Mike got a really nice setup for karaoke.
Huh?
Said Mike got a really nice setup for karaoke. He just bought 2 new subs, and then that's what he was doing the last couple of days, was building boxes for him.
Mm-hmm. Good for him.
Yeah, but
Yep.
basically, I did this.
You have disco like this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did this live stream to pass off information of a message that I got over the Qualcomm. Goes along with the store is not being resupplied. It's going to be a lot slower. Production is really slowed down, and inflation is going to go up even higher. Because it's like this: why should they produce more for less when they can produce less for more?
I gotta get my foot up in the air. It's starting to hurt.
You're going to find a movie? Huh?
Yeah, Caddyshack. You can find Caddyshack. Yeah, that's a good movie, Sam. You'll like that one.
Uh,
Excuse
Kuya
me.
Tim,
We kill all
a few
kill all-
minutes.
we kill all the golfers. They're gonna lock me up and throw away the key. Gophers, you stupid Greek, not gophers. The little brown furry rodents.
Sally.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. Oh, another good golfing movie is Happy Gilmore. You're going to try to reach the green from here, shooter? That's impossible, sir. I beg to differ. Happy accomplished that feat a little more than an hour ago.
My gulay.
Yeah, in that movie, Adam Sandler gets into a fist fight with Bob Barker. The price is wrong, bitch. He starts choking him and
Hey!
kicks his ass. That was hilarious.
Sally.
Caddyshack is starting.
Yeah, Naki, when you watch that one, have her watch Happy Gilmore.
All right.
Anyway, I'm going to end, Sammy. Go watch that movie and let me know how you like it, all right? We could talk about it.
Okay, kuya. Okay, kuya. Salamat. See you later.
Bye-bye.